Chapter 31-33. He informed Chu Lihue of the news. Chu Lihue rushed over with a look of surprise. Cousin, did I hear wrongly? Xie Qingxue is really getting married. Yes, she's getting married to Su Danhua. Kong Qi was not happy when he heard the news. As for why he was unhappy, after more than a year, he already understood. Speaking of which, he had a very unkind idea in his heart. He was waiting for Shi Jing and Xie Qingxue to meet again and be unable to resist continuing their relationship. Then, he could openly and reasonably help Tang Guo break away from Shi Jing, this scumbag. However, Shi Jing was also a very difficult person to endure. After so many years, he still had not seen Xie Qingxue even once. As for arranging for someone to keep an eye on Xie Qingxue, he believed that Shi Jing must have arranged for someone to do so. Now that Xie Qingxue was getting married, he did not know what Shi Jing was thinking. Regardless of whether Shi Jing was thinking about it or not, he had a lot of ideas now. Xie Qingxue is really getting married, and it's Su Danhua, that infatuated person. I know that Su Danhua is indeed infatuated with Xie Qingxue. But I didn't expect that the spare tire would become the official wife and marry Xie Qingxue. Chu Lihue bit her lip and frowned. If Shi Jing doesn't stop Xie Qingxue from getting married, I'm afraid that he will really choose to let go and be with Xiao Guo. Cousin, whether Shi Jing is sincere or not, if he really breaks up with Xie Qingxue and wants to be with Tang Guo, I don't think I can do anything. She could not run to Tang Guo and tell her that the person she married did not like her. He just gave up on the person he liked and planned to spend the rest of his life with her. These words were funny just thinking about it. What a headache. Chu Lihue sighed. Xiao Guo is such a cute girl. Just thinking about it makes me unhappy. But what could she do even if she was unhappy? She could not break them up just because she was unhappy and thought that there were no feelings between them, right? That would be a little unreasonable. Chu Lihue kept muttering to herself and did not notice that Kong Qi was sitting on the sofa. His clear eyes became deeper and the speed at which he stroked the jade ring increased. It was as if he was thinking about something. Tang Guo was not surprised to learn that Xie Qingxue was married. She decided not to go anywhere today. She would wait for Shi Jing to come back and see how he would react. Before that, she ordered the servants to prepare a table full of delicious dishes. Then, he called Shi Jing. After calling 3 times, Shi Jing picked up. Xiao Guo, what's the matter? I was in a meeting just now, so I couldn't pick up the phone. System, dear host, he's lying. I've checked his location before. He wasn't in a meeting at all. He was always in his office. Moreover, during this period, he even called and answered the phone. Big brother Shijing, come back early for dinner today. I've already asked the helpers to prepare it. Don't miss it. You've been busy for a year. It shouldn't be a problem for you to take some time out for a meal, right? If you're still so busy, why don't you come back to the village with me? Shi Jing's head hurt when he heard this. Now, he couldn't even find an excuse to say that he was busy with work. Once he revealed that he was too busy, Tang Guo would ask him to go back to the village with her and live a carefree life. She even said that even if he didn't work, she could still support him. Vertex. Chapter 31-34. Therefore, even though he was usually very busy this year, he still went back on time. He originally wanted to refuse because he had just received a piece of news and his heart couldn't calm down. He wanted to stay in the office, clear his mind, and calm down. He had never thought about what he should do when Xie Qingxue married someone else, what he should do, and how he should react. However, before he had time to think about this, Tang Guo's call came. She even said that she had prepared a meal and was waiting for him to go back to eat. It had been many times. Shi Jing was a little impatient with Tang Guo. After all, she wasn't someone he really liked. He chose this path himself. When he thought about how he still had a lifetime, he felt a little upset. However, he couldn't show his impatience with her. He couldn't even have a bad temper. Big brother Shi Jing, why aren't you saying anything? Are you too tired? I told you that you should go back to the village with me and have a good rest. The air in the village is good and nourishing. I'll be back after work. Shi Jing quickly interrupted Tang Guo. When the other party continued, it would be a long speech again. Even though those words were all for his good, he really didn't feel good at all. When it was close to dinner time, Shi Jing finally arrived home. Tang Guo went out to welcome Shi Jing warmly. Shi Jing forced a smile. Ever since he knew that Xie Qingxue was going to marry Su Danhua, he had tried his best to squeeze out a smile. Big brother Shi Jing, hurry up and eat. These are all your favorite dishes. Tang Guo greeted him with a smile. When she saw that Shi Jing couldn't control his expression and revealed a little sadness, she couldn't help but click her tongue in her heart. Look, when it was her turn, he was sad. He knew that he was sad. When he deceived an innocent girl, didn't he think that other people's hearts were also made of flesh and could be sad too? Shi Jing looked at the table full of delicious food and had no appetite at all. Although these were all dishes that he liked to eat, he didn't want to eat them. However, he couldn't withstand Tang Guo's warm greeting. He was afraid that he would reveal any flaws, so he could only pick up the bowl and eat. However, the food that he usually thought was very delicious now only felt that it was difficult to swallow. His mind was filled with the thought that Xie Qingxue was going to marry someone else and that there was no longer any possibility between them. And he was also married. Even if he didn't get the marriage certificate, he didn't hold the wedding in his place. However, the fact that Tang Guo was living under the same roof as him had already made her known as Mrs. Shi. There were many banquets where he had to bring Tang Guo along. In the circle, he was already married. Tang Guo didn't seem to know Shi Jing's pain. She kept putting food and rice into his bowl for fear that he wasn't full. Shi Jing, who was already sad, was forced to eat 2 bowls of rice and a lot of dishes. Now, he felt both stuffed and sad. Big brother Shi Jing, are you free tomorrow? Let's go watch a movie. There have been a lot of new movies recently. You always said that you were busy and didn't have time to accompany me. Shi Jing wanted to say that he was not free and that he was not interested in movies. But seeing Tang Guo's expectant look, he was afraid that if he said he was not free, Tang Guo would drag him back to the village. He nodded stiffly. Tomorrow night. Okay, I'll book the tickets for tomorrow night. After tormenting Shi Jing enough, Tang Guo didn't plan to continue for the time being. She didn't plan to do anything. She just wanted to spend more time with Shi Jing in the next few days. Especially for some banquets, she had to make more appearances. Peak. Chapter 31-35. After all, Xie Qingxue would be coming over soon. She had to let everyone know that she was the real one. Otherwise, Xie Qingxue would slander her and say that she threatened Shi Jing to marry her. She also had to thank Chu Lihui for being calm and not directly telling her about Shi Jing's past. Otherwise, she wouldn't be able to pretend to be innocent and deceived. System, this woman is really too evil. The past few days were torture for Shi Jing. He was busy with company matters. The news of Xie Qingxue's wedding was a huge blow to him. There was also Tang Guo who didn't know about these things and couldn't let her know about these things. Every day, she would pester him to talk and watch movies. Everything was giving him a headache. In just 3 days, Shi Jing lost a lot of weight. For this, Tang Guo even took out the medicinal wine she brewed and gave it to Shi Jing. Big brother Shi Jing, drink a glass of this wine a day. It can nourish your body. Although the things in it don't look good, it's really good for your body. Tang Guo didn't lie to Shi Jing. It was indeed good stuff. If it was an old man who knew something, he would understand. After drinking for a while, he could clearly feel Xiao Guo. However, Shi Jing looked at the bearing insects in the glass bottle. Even if he knew that the wine Tang Guo took out should be good stuff, he still couldn't look at it directly. I'll put this in the kitchen. Drink a glass when you're free. 1 glass a day. To Shi Jing's relief, Tang Guo didn't force him to drink it now. System, what I gave that guy was all kinds of top-notch medicinal herbs. Even if there were some strange insects, they were all ground into powder and couldn't be seen. To make it taste good, I also added other things. It was different for Shi Jing. The insects would look the same after soaking them in. This kind of differential treatment was really only for the host. It was too much of a double standard. And from the looks of it, she didn't insist on letting Shi Jing drink at all. It was as if she was a little reluctant. Shi Jing didn't have any intention of drinking that wine. Facing Tang Guo's enthusiasm, he just reluctantly responded. These days, he gradually got used to it. Especially with the arrival of Xie Qingshua's wedding date, he felt like he was dead. Big brother Shi Jing, have you been unhappy recently? Are you unhappy because of the company? If I really make you unhappy, you can go back to the village with me. We used to be happy in the village. As someone who liked Shi Jing, of course, she should have noticed that Shi Jing was unhappy recently. Big brother Shi Jing, I've already tried my best to make you happy, but why are you still unhappy? System, that's hilarious. Aren't you happy? Then you should go back to the village with me. When we go back to the village, we can go fishing in the river together. It will definitely be very happy. Shi Jing was stunned for a moment. He looked at Tang Guo who was sitting in front of him. It turned out that this little girl in front of him knew that he was unhappy. Recently, she had been pestering him to play every day just to make him happy. Shi Jing sighed and forced out a smile. It's fine. It'll be fine after a while. Xiao Guo, don't worry. Although he felt that he owed Tang Guo, he really couldn't forget Xie Qingxue. That woman called Xie Qingxue was already written in his life. He would never forget her for the rest of his life. During this period of time, he would give him a chance to remember. When she got married, there would be no more relationship between them. Peak. Chapter 31-36. At that time, he and Tang Guo will be able to live a peaceful life. That was it. It would be fine after a while. Really? Brother Shi Jing, I always feel that there's something you can't tell me. Tang Guo showed some suspicion. We're married. What can't we share? Shi Jing was shocked. He thought that Tang Guo knew something. Then he saw Tang Guo's confused face and gradually relaxed. Tang Guo must be suspicious because he had been acting a little strange recently. It's indeed about the company. Shi Jing calmed down quickly. After I'm done with work, I'll accompany you back to the village. How about that? When Xie Qingxue got married, he really wanted to go to a quiet place to hide. Otherwise, he was afraid that he would not be able to control himself and disturb Xie Qingxue's new life. When she heard that they were going back to the village, Tang Guo pretended to be very happy and forgot what had just happened. Shi Jing's worried heart slowly relaxed. The next day, Shi Jing's office. Zhu Jing and Fang Xifei were both inside and were talking to him about Xie Qingxue. Shi Jing, are you really not going to stop it? The wedding date has been set. It's the end of next week. If you don't stop it, Xie Qingxue will really marry someone else. It will have nothing to do with you. Zhu Jing said anxiously, it's not easy for you to be together. You're always separated because of all kinds of difficulties. Shi Jing, are you really not going to try harder? If Xie Qingxue really marries someone else, there's really no possibility between the two of you. Shi Jing said coldly, Zhu Jing, I'm married too. He threw the cigarette butt into the ashtray and rubbed his eyebrows. She can't stay single forever. Even if she doesn't get married, who will take care of her? But Qing Shui doesn't like Su Danhua at all. Fang Sifei couldn't help but say, Shi Jing, the person Qing Shui likes has always been you. It's been more than a year. She's actually been waiting for you to come back. But you didn't show up at all. Now she's changed her mind, so she chose to marry Su Danhua. Shi Jing, believe it or not, as long as you go to her, she will definitely follow you without hesitation. As long as you take her away, even if she can only wander in the future, she will be willing. A rare warmth appeared on Shi Jing's face. His originally cold eyes also had some emotions. I know. Since you know, then hurry up and find her. You two are so in love. If you miss this opportunity, you will regret it for the rest of your life. Shi Jing lowered his eyes and sighed. But I'm already married. She's getting married too. You and Tangua don't have any feelings for each other, and you haven't registered your marriage yet. Just tell her the whole story. I believe she will understand. You don't like her, she can't make do with you for a lifetime, right? Fang Sifei said as a matter of course. If it weren't for the Holy Gu tribe having so many rules, Shi Jing and Xie Qingxue might have already achieved positive results. It wouldn't have been so difficult. I took the holy medicine and married her willingly. Shi Jing said, if I tell Xiaoguo these things now, it will seem very untrustworthy. It's all because the Holy Gu race broke too many rules. Otherwise, we could have used other methods to buy the sacred medicine. You have such a big company. For Qing Shui, I think you're willing to give up half of it. Fang Sifei muttered. Those old antiques in the mountains didn't understand at all. They insisted that only their own people could use the holy medicine. Otherwise, there wouldn't be so many problems. Peak. Chapter 31-37. No matter how hard Fang Sifei and Zhu Jing tried to persuade him, Shi Jing had no intention of going to Xie Qingxue. I'll have to trouble you to keep an eye on Qingxue and don't let her be bullied. Su Danhua likes her so much. When they get married, he should protect her well. After all, Su Danhua had taken a knife for Xie Qingxue. He had no doubt that Su Danhua liked Xie Qingxue. In fact, he was relieved to choose Su Danhua. However, he was still very sad. In fact, it was not that he did not want to stop it, but now that he was a married man, who was he to stop it? The two of them could not persuade him, so they gave up and went to Xie Qingxue's city. They were invited to Xie Qingxue's wedding. Fang Sifei was the bridesmaid, so she planned to go there early. Qingxue, do you know that you are going to marry Su Danhua? Fang Sifei asked tentatively. Are you really willing? Do you like Su Danhua? Xie Qingxue had lost a lot of weight. She looked up at Fang Sifei and said, I've been thinking about what to do in the future and where to go. Shi Jing is already married and has other choices. I can't stay where I am and keep thinking about being a married man. Danhua is a very good person. All these years, he has taken care of me. If I don't choose him, who will I choose? My family is also very satisfied. I am also very satisfied. Also, I already owe Danhua my life. Marrying him is also something I am willing to do. Maybe I will forget Shi Jing in the future and fall in love with Danhua after a long time. Fang Sifei wanted to say, do you know what Shi Jing sacrificed to save your life? But Shi Jing had warned her not to tell Xie Qingxue the truth. Moreover, even if she told her now, what could it change? Shi Jing was indeed married. Even if he did not get the certificate, everyone knew that he was married. The wedding photos were taken and she moved into his house. They just needed to hold a wedding and wait until they were old enough to get the certificate. Moreover, Shi Jing also said that if Xie Qingxue knew the truth, it might affect her health. She did not dare to take the risk if she fell ill again. Qingxue, although Danhua is very good, I advise you to think more about it. While we still have a few days to prepare, let's think about it. Since she couldn't tell him the truth, Fang Xifei could only say it indirectly. And I think that marriage should be with the person you like. It shouldn't be when you only like you, but you don't like her, or when you have someone else in your heart. No matter who Qingxue has in her heart, I don't mind. At this time, Danhua walked over and interrupted Fang Xifei. Miss Fang, you don't need to remind me. I know who Qingxue likes, but I don't mind. Since Qingxue was willing to marry me, I was also willing to wait for her to forget the past. And you know very well that Shi Jing is married. There's no possibility between them. Why can't you give me a chance? Fang Xifei curled her lips. All right, I won't talk anymore. I can't win an argument with you. Yes, now that Shi Jing is married, you can take advantage of it. Otherwise, Qingxue wouldn't agree to marry you. Miss Fang, I'm not angry with you, because it was Qingxue who agreed to marry me. I said that I would wait for her, so I will wait for her. Similarly, if she changes her mind halfway, I will respect her decision. Even if she says that she doesn't want to live with me after we get married, I will respect her choice. The top. Chapter 31-38. Su Danhua said, I won't force Qingxue to do anything. With me, she will always have the most freedom. This time, Fang Xifei really had nothing to say. Su Danhua was indeed a good person, but in Fang Xifei's heart, Shi Jing and Xie Qingxue had been through so much, and now they couldn't be together. Su Danhua took the opportunity to marry Xie Qingxue, and that was taking advantage of her difficulties. The problem now was not Su Danhua, but Shi Jing was unwilling to tell Xie Qingxue the truth. Now that he was married to another woman, she couldn't say anything. She could only stand aside indifferently and watch Su Danhua fawn over Xie Qingxue. Xifei, Danhua is actually very good. Xie Qingxue knew that Fang Xifei was not satisfied with Su Danhua, or rather, she hated her. Since he left, Danhua has been taking care of me. I think that if I can't marry the person I like, it's not bad to marry someone who likes me. When we get married, I will definitely be a virtuous wife to make up for the love that I may not be able to give Danhua. Fang Xifei often couldn't help but want to tell the truth. What if Shi Jing has some difficulties? If you really get married, it will be irreversible. Xie Qingxue shook her head. No matter what difficulties he is already married to another woman. What difficulties could he have? I can't be a mistress who comes into someone else's family when he is married, right? Shi Jing left without saying goodbye, and she even heard the news that he was married. She had seen the photo of the woman who married Shi Jing. She was really beautiful and much younger than her. She didn't look like an ordinary person. It was not strange that Shi Jing chose her. Since Shi Jing took the initiative to give up their relationship and was not even willing to accompany her in the last moments of their lives, she didn't need to be stubborn about this relationship. Danhua was so good. Maybe she could forget Shi Jing in the future and like Danhua. Fang Xifei wanted to say something, but she shut up. If she continued, she might really tell Xie Qingxue the truth. But even if she did, what could Xie Qingxue do when faced with Shi Jing who was already married? It seemed that it was very difficult to tell the truth. There were only a few days left before the wedding. In order not to let Tang Guo suspect anything, Shi Jing had to pretend that nothing had happened and forced a smile even though his heart was in great pain. Tang Guo looked at Shi Jing's unbearable expression and tried her best to live every day. From time to time, she would find something for Shi Jing to do. Recently, there were more banquets. Unlike before, she did not like to attend banquets. Instead, the moment they heard the news, they would ask Shi Jing if there was such a banquet and if he would be going. If he was going, she would accompany him. Shi Jing didn't want to talk to Tang Guo about those banquets. It didn't matter if Tang Guo didn't go occasionally. However, Tang Guo and Chu Lihui were close. If there was a gathering, Chu Lihui would definitely tell Tang Guo. Tang Guo did not expect Chu Lihui to have such a role. Everyone in the circle had noticed that Shi Jing had been bringing Tang Guo to various gatherings recently. Tang Guo was no longer a newbie. Now, she could handle the banquets with ease. These few days, Xie Qingxue was reminiscing about the days she spent with Shi Jing. Peak. Chapter 31-39. Xie Qingxue recalled these memories because she wanted to bid farewell to her past. Su Danhua did almost everything she wanted. Even if the family was not satisfied, Su Danhua had the final say in the Su family. If Su Danhua wanted to support someone, others would have to shut up even if they had any opinions. Kong Qi and Chu Lihui were different. One was obviously looking forward to something happening. For example, if one of Xie Qingxue and Shi Jing could not help but want to see each other or something. The two of them were dry wood and burning fire. They used to love each other so much. What if their hearts softened and they revealed their true feelings and got back together? Kong Qi was secretly praying that something would happen in the next few days. Recently, every time Tang Guo attended a party, he would go with the excuse of protecting Chu Lihui. Seeing Tang Guo holding Shi Jing's arm and walking in, she felt uncomfortable in her heart. It was fine if the two of them were in love. He would just hide and have a one-sided love. But Shi Jing did not like Tang Guo at all. He even lied to Tang Guo from the beginning. This made him have some unfriendly thoughts from time to time. Fortunately, he was a person who restrained himself. In the past few days, the one who had the best time was Tang Guo. Finally, the day of Xie Qingxue's wedding arrived. With Su Danhua's love for Xie Qingxue, the wedding was of course of the century. The people who were invited were all people of high status. Of course, he was sensible enough not to invite Shi Jing. He was also afraid that something would happen when Shi Jing arrived. Different from the plot, Tang Guo chose to go down the mountain with Shi Jing. So at this time, she and Shi Jing were in another city. Early in the morning of Xie Qingxue's wedding, Shi Jing used the excuse that he was busy in the company and needed to deal with it. He also said that he would stay in the company and would not come back for dinner. Tang Guo pretended that she did not know anything and even asked him to take care of himself. In fact, Tang Guo was already prepared to send food to Shi Jing at the restaurant. It was not that she was being kind. After Xie Qingxue learned the truth from Fang Xifei, she would escape from the wedding and come directly to Shi Jing. Although there was some distance between the two cities, it would only take 3 hours if one took the faster traffic. Xie Qingxue arrived in the afternoon, close to evening. At that time, it was almost dinner time. Tang Guo was Shi Jing's current wife. She was worried that Shi Jing had not eaten at the company, so there was nothing wrong with sending some food over. She would calculate the time well, and it would be right after the two of them confided in each other. Not only did she have to calculate the time, but she also had to make an appointment with the friend she had made at the banquet. Since the two of them had confessed their feelings to each other, one used the identity of a runaway and the other used the identity of a married woman, they had made it clear that they would never let go of each other. Then I'm sorry, they were the ones who asked for it. No wonder she forced them into a dead end. Host, don't worry. I've already monitored Shi Jing's company. As long as Xie Qingxue appears, I'll know. The system knew that something big was about to happen, so it was very excited. After the host tidied up this pair, she would be able to live happily with her cutie. At that time, his energy would also increase slowly. Now he had to work hard to level up, so that when he went to the Spacetime Bureau in the future, he would be able to defeat all the other departments in the Bureau and make the host proud. Peak. Chapter 3140. Also, she had to convince that Brat 111. Even if he was a wild one, he was still better than all the regular ones. After Tang Guo made up her mind, she called her new friends, including Chu Lihue, to go shopping, eat, and go to places that girls like to go. She could make some bombs that could improve the roughness of the skin, but she only gave them to her new friends. Even if they were not born in the same circle, they could still play well after getting along. Tang Guo's purpose of giving them the bombs was to get closer to them. When the time came, she could use their mouths to talk about Shi Jing and Xie Qingxue, and use their eyes to witness the love between Shi Jing and Xie Qingxue. Cousin, Tang Guo asked me to go shopping. There are many girls with us today, so it's not convenient for you to go. Chu Lihue said with a little disdain, you're a man, and we're a bunch of girls. It's not convenient for us to talk about girls' words. Oh right, cousin, the Shi family shouldn't dare to do anything to me. You don't have to stay by my side to protect me. Chu Lihue suggested seriously, oh right, don't you still have to take care of the company's matters? Why are you so free? For the past year, you've been running around with me. I think it's a little strange. Kong Qi smiled, aren't the company's matters handled by the employees? Little brother is slowly growing up. If it's not too big of a matter, he can solve it. Recalling that she still had a cousin who was enslaved by Kong Qi, Chu Lihue broke down a little. Cousin, although he's already 16 years old, he's really just a high school student. Do you feel at ease letting a high school student manage the company? Little brother's body is very strong. Although he's only 16 years old, he's almost 1.8 meters tall. His body is healthier than mine. Kong Qi's eyes were smiling, little brother might have grown a little too fast. When he walks out, everyone thinks that he's in his early 20s and has no problem managing the company. After all, I've been training him since he was 10 years old. As long as the company isn't in danger of closing down, I don't have to interfere. You have to believe in little brother. Although he's young, his ability is not bad. In the previous IQ test, it seems that he's much higher than you. Kong Qi lowered his voice, probably because he noticed Chu Lihue's expression that was about to break down. Cousin, I was wrong. But this time, you really can't follow me. Kong Qi lightly nodded his head, I won't go, but you should want to buy something. I'll arrange a few assistants for you. I'll help you carry your things and protect you. That's not a problem. Her cousin's bodyguards were definitely the best. Chu Lihue accepted his kindness and hurriedly went back to her room to dress up. Kong Qi had already called the two bodyguards over and was whispering to them, protect my cousin well. Also, protect Miss Tang. The two bodyguards nodded quickly. They didn't think there was anything wrong with Kong Qi's order. After all, Kong Qi and Tang Guo had known each other for a long time, so they had some friendship. If anything happens, report it back immediately. Yes. On the other side, Xie Qingxue had also finished dressing up. Now, only she and the only bridesmaid, Fang Xifei, were in the room. She and Fang Xifei were best friends, and she couldn't find another female friend who was so close to her. She would rather have fewer bridesmaids than find two random bridesmaids to make up the numbers. Vertex. Chapter 3141. Qing Shui, have you really made up your mind? Fang Sifei bit her lip and said, Qing Shui, you and Shi Jing have been together for so many years, and you've been through so much. If you get married today, you really can't go back to the past. Qing Shui, do you want to think about it again? And, Qing Shui, have you asked Shi Jing why he gave up on you? Why he left without saying goodbye? Why he left? Why he likes you and wants to marry someone else? Qing Shui, it seems that you haven't asked anything. Isn't it too arbitrary to marry someone you don't like now? Even if you want to get married, you have to make everything clear. Speaking of which, you haven't seen each other since you broke up all these years. Maybe there's really a misunderstanding. Fang Sifei still tried to say something, but Xie Qingxue didn't have any reaction. Her expression didn't change much. Sifei, don't say anything more. From today onwards, let me say goodbye to Shi Jing and the past. I'll say it again. No matter what happened, he's already married. No matter what difficulties he has, he's already married another woman. If Shi Jing hadn't married another woman, how could she not ask the other woman about it? If Shi Jing hadn't married another woman willingly, who could threaten him? But Qing Shui, Fang Sifei still wanted to say something, but Xie Qingxue interrupted her. Sifei, today is my wedding day. Don't say anything else. You have to remember that Shi Jing is already in the past for me. After today's wedding, I have nothing to do with him. They'll be here in a while. Don't say anything else. Today is a big day. If you say something bad, it will make people unhappy. Although Xie Qingxue was a little sad in her heart, if Shi Jing really cared about her, he should have come when her wedding day was announced. If he really cared about her, he would rush over no matter where he was like before. Seeing that the people who came to pick her up were almost here, but Shi Jing was nowhere to be seen, it was obvious that the man had really given up on her. In this case, she also had to say goodbye to the past. Soon, the people who came to pick her up arrived. After a series of laughter and joking, Xie Qingxue was taken to the wedding car and sat with Su Danhua. It was obvious that Su Danhua was very excited. She kept holding Xie Qingxue's hand and didn't let go. If it was in the past, he would never have dreamed that he would be able to marry Xie Qingxue. She was really grateful that Shi Jing had given up on Xie Qingxue when her life was in danger. Otherwise, how would he have the chance to stay by her side and move her? The long line of wedding cars slowly made their way to the wedding venue. Soon, they arrived at the wedding venue. Fang Sifei came to Xie Qingxue's side. Since Shi Jing was marrying Su Danhua, as Shi Jing's friend, Zhu Jing naturally wouldn't be the best man. He was here as a guest. When he saw the scene in front of him, he couldn't help but sigh. It wasn't time yet, so Zhu Jing came to Fang Sifei's side. The two of them looked at each other. Only the two of them knew what they were thinking. While Xie Qingxue wasn't paying attention, Zhu Jing and Fan Sifei whispered to each other. Shi Jing actually looks very sad. Vertex. Chapter 3142. Fang Sifei said angrily, since you're sad, why don't you come? If you miss today, you'll miss it forever. You know Shi Jing's character. Since he has made a choice, no matter how painful it is, there's nothing he can do. What about Qing Shui? What's her reaction now? What reaction can she have? She repeated several times that no matter what misunderstanding there is, Shi Jing is married to someone else. I guess it's because of this that she doesn't have the courage to find Shi Jing. After all, the Shi family doesn't like Qing Shui. If she went to find him like that, wouldn't she be a joke? Speaking of the Shi family, Fang Sifei didn't have a good attitude. If it weren't for the Shi family, they might have already gotten married. Why would they be in so much pain? Yeah, the two of them have worked so hard for so long and finally can be together. Are they really going to give up? Zhu Jing also felt a little regretful. Once they get married today, there's no turning back. The two of them became silent. Yeah, there's really no turning back when the time comes. Shi Jing is also silly. He kept telling us not to tell the truth. Zhu Jing sighed. If we tell Qing Shui, maybe there's a chance to turn back. Also, I heard from Shi Jing that although he and Tang Guo are married, the two of them aren't really together now. What? Fang Xifei was surprised. What did you say? What do you mean they're not really together? Zhu Jing whispered, it's what you think. When they got married, Tang Guo wasn't 18 yet, right? Even if it's been almost 2 years, Tang Guo isn't old enough to get married. He shook his head. Do you think it's fake that Shi Jing likes Qing Shui? It's also because Tang Guo is young and doesn't know much about these things. But if Qing Shui gets married today, I'm afraid Shi Jing will accept his fate and be with Tang Guo for the rest of his life. Speaking of which, it's just a matter of time. Fang Xifei fell into deep thought. She always thought that Shi Jing and Tang Guo were married and that they were husband and wife. Otherwise, even if he didn't want to, wouldn't she have an opinion? She did not expect the truth to be like this. In this case, it meant that Shi Jing had not accepted Tang Guo at all. If Qing Shui knew that Shi Jing had sacrificed so much for her, she would be very touched. So what if they were married? They were clearly two people who didn't love each other. They should set things right. Seeing that the wedding was about to begin, Fang Xifei did not wait for Zhu Jing to speak. She ran to Xie Qingshui and grabbed her arm. Qing Shui, I want to say something. If you still want to persuade me, then don't say it. Xie Qingshui knew Fang Xifei's character. She knew that Fang Xifei still wanted to persuade her, so she interrupted her. This time, Fang Xifei didn't let go of Xie Qingshui. Instead, she grabbed Xie Qingshui's arm. Qingshui, there's still some time left. I don't care if you want to listen to me or not. If I don't, I won't be happy. Alright, go ahead. Xie Qingshui thought that Fang Xifei was talking about the same thing as before. Since the wedding hadn't started yet, she could give him 3 minutes. Fang Xifei took a deep breath, and Xie Qingshui couldn't help but laugh. She was tired of listening to these words. In the past 2 years, Fang Xifei would say such words from time to time. Most of the time, she would speak for Shi Jing. If Fang Xifei wasn't still the same Fang Xifei and was someone she had known since she was a child, she would have thought that she was a mole sent by Shi Jing. At the top. Chapter 31-43. Qingshui, actually, I've been persuading you to find out the truth because Shi Jing didn't give up on you. He left without saying goodbye, he married another woman. Everything he did was for you. Fang Xifei leaned over to Xie Qingshui's ear and told her everything Shi Jing did and his purpose for doing so. 3 minutes was enough for her to tell her everything in detail. Xie Qingshui didn't care at first, but when she heard that she didn't have long to live and that Shi Jing hired world-class experts, they couldn't save her life. Later on, everything that happened was to save her. If it weren't for Shi Jing's sacrifice, she would have died long ago. How could she still be alive and getting married here? After 3 minutes, Xie Qingshui finally heard the truth and was stunned on the spot. The smile on her face was gone and her eyes were filled with tears and emotions. Qingshui, I've already said everything that needs to be said. Even if Shi Jing married another woman, he has always had you in his heart. Moreover, he and that woman aren't a real couple. They haven't even registered their marriage. Fang Xifei looked like she was going all out. Alright, you can judge for yourself now. If you still insist on getting married and intend to break up with Shi Jing, or even despise Shi Jing for marrying another woman, then pretend that I didn't say anything. As long as you get married, I won't ask about anything in the future. I won't listen to Shi Jing in front of you anymore. Xie Qingxue could no longer hear Fang Xifei's words. Her mind was filled with the fact that Shi Jing had gone to a place like Miaojiang for her. In order to save her, he was even willing to marry someone he didn't like, in order to get the medicine to save her. At this moment, in Xie Qingxue's heart, Shi Jing had really sacrificed too much for her. She still blamed Shi Jing for sacrificing so much for her. Why didn't he explain a word? If she had known that Shi Jing would do this, she would have stopped him. Even if she chose to die, she didn't want Shi Jing to force her to marry someone she didn't like, nor did she want to see him marry someone else. Rather than that, she might as well lie in Shi Jing's arms in her last moments, or even die in his arms. When the wedding ceremony was underway, Xie Qingxue was led in by her father in a daze. Her mind was in a mess, and she had even forgotten that she was getting married. The people around also noticed that something was wrong with Xie Qingxue. They all looked at Xie Qingxue. Xie Qingxue's father called her a few times before she came back to her senses. Seeing that everyone was staring at her, she forced a smile. He followed Papa Xie into the house. Fang Xifei saw that Xie Qingxue did not refuse the wedding, and her heart was indescribably disappointed. Did Qing Shui mind that Shi Jing was married to another woman? She couldn't stop Xie Qingxue from continuing to get married. She just pitied Shi Jing. Father Xie happily handed Xie Qingxue's hand to Su Danhua. Then, the priest presided over the wedding for the two. When asked about marriage, Su Danhua was naturally willing to do so. Her face was full of happiness. He could already feel that Xie Qingxue's mind was wandering. He didn't know what she was thinking at this time. Was it Shi Jing? He even had a strange feeling that he would never have the chance to hold the hand he was holding in the future. Vertex. Chapter 3144. It was possible that this was the closest they had ever been in their lives. So, he held her hand tightly. He prayed silently in his heart for time to pass faster so that their wedding could proceed smoothly. Although he did not think that anything would go wrong, he had asked his subordinates earlier and Shi Jing had been in the office the entire day. Even if he rushed over now, it would be too late. So, there should be no one to stop their wedding. But why did he feel so uneasy? At this moment, the priest's gaze fell on Xie Qingxue. He also asked those words that regardless of wealth or poverty, birth, old age, illness, and death, she would never leave Su Danhua. But after the priest asked, everyone's gaze fell on Xie Qingxue. It could be said that the entire wedding was only the Su family who was unhappy. But things had already come to this point and they could not stop it. They could only watch the two of them get married. Madame Xie Qingxue. Xie Qingxue did not speak. After half a minute, the priest could not help but remind her. Xie Qingxue finally came back to her senses. She looked at the priest and finally her gaze fell on Su Danhua's face. When Su Danhua saw Xie Qingxue's gaze, her heart tightened. She really wanted to hug her and hold her hand tightly. I'm sorry. When Xie Qingxue said sorry, everyone was in an uproar. They all looked at her in surprise, not understanding what she meant by sorry. Everyone, I'm sorry. Xie Qingxue bowed to everyone with an apologetic expression. It's all my fault for making you come for nothing. After speaking, she ignored everyone's discussion and looked at Su Danhua even more apologetically. She did not mean to hurt him. She just did not expect the truth to be like this. She could not let go of Shi Jing, especially Shi Jing who had sacrificed so much for her. Danhua, I'm sorry. Xie Qingshue's eyes were filled with tears. I've let you down. You like me, but I really have no choice. Danhua, I'm really sorry. Xie Qingxue placed the bouquet in Su Danhua's hands and took off the white veil on her head. I can't marry you. If there's a next life, I'm willing to make it up to you for the rest of my life. Su Danhua could not maintain his smile at all. At this moment, anyone would not be able to maintain their smile. He was not angry, but sad, so sad that he felt hopeless. From Xie Qingshue's expression just now, he could feel that they might not be able to get married today. He had always been on guard against Shi Jing, but he didn't expect that the final result would be Xie Qingxue. Danhua, I say no more. Since you don't want to get married, then don't. Didn't I tell you before that no matter what choice you make, I will always respect you? Xie Qingshue's face was already full of tears. She was very touched. What did she, Xie Qingxue, do to deserve such devotion from these two men? If she had known the result from the beginning, she would have definitely stayed away from Su Danhua and not given him a chance to like her. Danhua, I have to go. I'm really sorry. No need to apologize. Su Danhua forced a smile. Are you going to look for him? His eyes were full of helplessness. But he's already married. I know, but there's a misunderstanding. Danhua, I want to find him immediately. Then you can go. Su Danhua didn't make things difficult for him, but her eyes grew dimmer and dimmer. Vertex. Chapter 31:45. Today should be the closest we've ever been to each other. We were almost able to spend the rest of our lives together. If there was a pause button in life, I wanted to press it 3 minutes ago. That way, my life would only stop at the most beautiful moment. Xie Qingxue didn't know what to say. She would never be able to make up for what she owed Su Danhua in this lifetime. Go, but I want to hug you one last time. I won't have the chance in the future. Su Danhua's gaze was still so gentle that it broke the hearts of those admirers. Don't cry anymore. Your makeup is ruined. You won't look good. Xie Qingxue wiped away her tears and walked over to hug Su Danhua. After a minute, Su Danhua took the initiative to let go of her. He should be satisfied. After all, for more than 2 years, there was only them and no Shi Jing. He should really be satisfied. Qingxue, go. Go find the person you want to see. If it wasn't his, there was no way to keep it. What was the point of forcing it to stay? Moreover, he had never been able to force her to do anything. Xie Qingxue nodded and walked out without hesitation. No matter how Father Xie and Father Xie called her, she didn't turn back. Because Su Danhua stopped her, no one dared to stop her. It was the groom who agreed to let the bride go. Even if the others felt that it was ridiculous, they wouldn't meddle in other people's business. Mother Xie fainted on the spot. Su Danhua was so good. Everything was going to be settled. Why was Xie Qingxue being so willful? She couldn't understand. Everyone present couldn't understand. When Xie Qingxue went out, Zhu Jing and Fang Xifei followed. Both of them had smiles on their faces. They also felt relieved. Xie Qingxue hurried home, changed her clothes, and rushed to the city where Shi Jing was. Naturally, Zhu Jing and Fang Xifei accompanied her. 4 hours later, Xie Qingxue arrived at the city she used to be familiar with. I talked to Shi Jing earlier. He will be at the company the whole day. We'll send you to the company to find him. As for the rest, it's up to you, Zhu Jing said. Both of them were very happy that Xie Qingxue could come to find Shi Jing. They used to be such a loving couple. They didn't want the two of them to be separated because of this misunderstanding. As for Tanguo, Shi Jing didn't like her to begin with. After the negotiation, he would definitely compensate Tanguo accordingly. In short, Shi Jing would never let Tanguo suffer. Tanguo calculated the time. He was currently having dinner with his friends in the restaurant. She also ordered the restaurant to make some warm food and bring it to Shi Jing later. Initially, she wanted to instruct the cook at home to make it, but later she felt that it was too rushed. She was afraid that she wouldn't be able to hear the exciting words if she rushed over. In the end, they chose a restaurant that was closer to Shi Jing Company. Dear host, Xie Qingxue is already here. She's rushing to Shi Jing's company. In order to monitor Xie Qingxue's whereabouts, the system connected to all the cameras in the city. With his current ability, it was easy for him to find Xie Qingxue. As soon as the other party appeared, he noticed. Coincidentally, Tang Guo was almost done with her meal. She planned to wait for Xie Qingxue to arrive at Shi Jing Company before leaving the restaurant with her friends. Since they were going to watch a movie later, this group of friends would accompany her to Shi Jing's company. At that time, they would witness a good show together. When the system thought about what was going to happen next, it got a little excited. Vertex. Chapter 3146. Half an hour later, Xie Qingxue arrived at Shi Jing's office building. Zhu Jing and Fang Xifei chose to leave quietly. After sending Xie Qingxue to this place, their mission was complete. What would happen between the two of them, whether they could talk about everything and get back together, how to solve the problem with Tang Guo, was not something they could control. Are you all done eating? Tang Guo asked with a smile. Yes, I'm going to bring food to Big Brother Shi Jing. Chu Lihui shook her head when she saw how happy Tang Guo was and how she didn't forget Shi Jing even when eating. At this time, Xie Qingxue probably got married successfully. Because she was with Tang Guo, Chu Lihui didn't have the chance to get the latest news. Otherwise, she wouldn't be able to stay calm. Let's go. It's time to bring food to your big brother Shi Jing. Tang Guo carried the thermos box and the group got into the car. Just as they got into the car, Chu Lihui received a message. She had drunk a lot just now and was still a little drunk. She fumbled for her phone and glanced at it. When she saw the words on it, she couldn't help but rub her eyes and take another look. This one look really sobered her up. She stared at the phone screen and her eyes widened. Lihui, what's wrong? You look so surprised. Did you see something strange? Tang Guo noticed Chu Lihui's situation and quickly stretched her neck to take a look. Chu Lihui quickly turned off the phone screen and looked at Tang Guo. She shook her head gently and said, "It's nothing strange. It's just some boring suitors who did something opportunistic. It's not interesting." Under normal circumstances, Tang Guo wouldn't ask any more questions with such an excuse. Chu Lihui really didn't expect that Xie Qingxue didn't get married. What was even more unbelievable was that she left the wedding in public and left Su Danhua alone. Now that they were at Shi Jing's office building, she really didn't know if there would be enough firewood to burn. Originally, she thought that if Xie Qingxue got married, Shi Jing and Tang Guo wouldn't have any more problems. Shi Jing was really lucky. She didn't expect Xie Qingxue to give her such a big surprise. It was really a big surprise. Anyway, Tang Guo was going to find Shi Jing soon. It was better to deliver food to that scumbag. She could also see clearly what was going on between Shi Jing and Xie Qingxue. In front of the evidence, it would be more convincing if she said something later. No one would say anything else. She was just trying to drive a wedge between them out of jealousy. The group hurried over. Tang Guo's footsteps were fast, but Chu Lihui was even faster. The others thought that Tang Guo was worried that Shi Jing would be hungry. They couldn't help but sigh in their hearts. At this time, Jing and Xie Qingxue were at loggerheads, but in the end, he still married someone else. Therefore, until the end, no one would know who was with whom. The reason why they didn't mention anything else in front of Tang Guo was that they weren't talkative people. If they mentioned those things, it would affect the harmony of the family, so it was unnecessary. Little did they know that they would be able to see a big show in a while. Through the system's real-time report, Tang Guo already knew that Xie Qingxue had entered Shi Jing's office. Shi Jing's office had an electronic lock, so the system could easily control it. While the people inside weren't paying attention, the system had already unlocked the door. It was just that the door wasn't opened directly. Peek. Chapter 3147. Tang Guo got out of the car with the thermos. The others had planned to wait for her downstairs. Before Tang Guo could say anything, Chu Lihui said, "Let's go up and wait. We can also go in and take a look at the Shi family's company. There aren't many opportunities like this. Maybe Xiao Guo will wait for Shi Jing to eat before going to watch a movie with us. Besides, there's still a long time before the movie starts. Won't it be boring to sit in the car? Who would come to other people's company when they had nothing to do?" The others thought so too. They agreed with Chu Lihui and went in together. Although Tang Guo rarely came to Shi Jing's office, she and Shi Jing often attended banquets. There were still many people who knew her. The company's higher-ups basically all knew Tang Guo. A small receptionist would also go and get to know her. After all, she was their CEO's wife. They had to know her, right? The receptionist also knew Chu Lihui. Chu Lihui was more high-profile and was the envy of many socialites. Chu Lihui and Tang Guo's relationship had become very good. The receptionist did not know that. She only felt that it was a little strange for the two women to walk together. But she still did not dare to ask anything. The receptionist had just arrived this year. Although she knew that Shi Jing had someone he liked very much, she did not know Xie Qingxue who had just entered. Xie Qingxue could go in directly because Xu Jing greeted her and said that she was an important guest of Shi Jing. "Mrs. Shi, why are you here?" The receptionist greeted her warmly. Looking at the thermos in Tang Guo's hand, she understood. "Mrs. Shi, are you here to deliver food to CEO Shi?" Tang Guo nodded. "Yes. Is CEO Shi busy now?" "A guest just came." "Madam, you might have to wait for a while." "Why don't I inform CEO Shi?" The receptionist asked tentatively if Madam wanted to inform CEO Shi. That depended on whether Madam was willing or not. She did not want to make the decision on her own. Tang Guo shook her head. "There's no need to inform him. I'll go up myself and give him a surprise." Tang Guo smiled sweetly. "Don't say anything secretly. Otherwise, I'll ask CEO Shi to fire you." The receptionist quickly smiled. She knew that this was a joke. However, since Tang Guo had said so, how could she act on her own? She didn't dare to offend someone who could defeat so many socialites, move into the Shi family, and get CEO Shi to personally acknowledge their marriage. "Yes, Mrs. Shi." As for Chu Lihui and the others, the receptionist did not dare to question them. Since she was able to walk together peacefully with Mrs. Shi, whether it was really peaceful or not had nothing to do with her as a receptionist. Just like that, Tang Guo, Chu Lihui and the others entered the elevator. And it was a direct elevator that led directly to the floor where Shi Jing's office was. Soon, they arrived at their destination. She didn't know if it was Shi Jing's orders, but the secretary and assistant on this floor weren't there. Other than Tanghua and Chu Lihui, everyone else thought that he was going to a meeting. Just as she was about to find a place to sit down, Chu Lihui noticed that the door was slightly ajar. She hurriedly walked over and gently pushed the door open a little. It was really just a little. She didn't need to do anything else as the sound came from inside. "Ah, Jing, I really didn't expect that you would go to this extent for me. I'm sorry, Ah Jing. I should have come to you earlier. You wouldn't be in so much pain." Perhaps she knew that Shi Jing had sent the people outside elsewhere, and that the door was locked. Xie Qingxue couldn't control herself anymore. She lay in Shi Jing's arms and cried. The Peak. Chapter 3148. Ah Jing, I was so close. I was so close to marrying someone else. Xie Qingxue's voice wasn't soft. With the door slightly open, the faint sound of a woman crying could be heard from inside. This attracted the attention of Tanggua's friends. Especially when Chu Lihui stood at the door with a look of shock on her face, she attracted the attention of the other women. Women were naturally sensitive in this aspect. No one made a sound. They tiptoed and quietly walked to the door. They stared at the open door and looked inside. Although they couldn't see clearly, the conversation inside was clearly heard by them. Tanghua pretended to be puzzled and quickly walked over. When she was about to ask what was going on, Chu Lihui quickly covered her mouth and whispered in her ear, "Xiaogua, no matter what you see or hear, let's listen to it first. Don't go in for the time being. If you agree, I'll let go." Tangua's eyes looked strange, but she quickly nodded. Chu Lihui was so good at helping her. How could she not agree? Chu Lihui moved aside. The others all had different expressions on their faces. If they hadn't known Tanghua before, they might not have been surprised to see this scene. But they were already Tangua's friends. Whatever they thought or did, they couldn't help but think from Tangua's point of view. Just thinking about it made them feel disgusted. If the situation inside was really as they expected and Xie Qingxue and Shi Jing got back together, then Tanghua really didn't deserve it. Since they loved each other so much, why didn't they stay together? Why did they have to marry someone else? Was it fun to play with others? Tanghua was already standing in the best position. The voices from inside could be heard. "Ah Jing, why didn't you tell me the truth? You must have had a hard time these past 2 years." The moment Xie Qingxue appeared, Shi Jing couldn't control himself. He was clearly married, but the moment this woman threw herself into his arms, he couldn't push her away. He couldn't help but admit that Xie Qingxue was the only person who could touch his heart. Seeing her tears fall uncontrollably, his heart ached terribly. He kept wiping her tears. "I don't know what to say to you. To be honest, you had no choice but to marry someone else in order to save me. You have no feelings for that person at all. How can I blame you?" Xie Qingxue said, "Not only will I not blame you, but I will also feel sorry for you. I don't know how you endured marrying someone you don't like. You've really sacrificed too much for me." The people outside the door almost vomited when they heard Xie Qingxue's words. They didn't quite understand what Xie Qingxue meant. However, she could also make some guesses. Shi Jing and Tanghua seemed to be together because of her. No matter what the specific situation was, Shi Jing was willing to marry Tanghua. What did he mean by marrying someone he didn't like? He didn't know how to bear it. Why did these words make them want to hit someone? If Si Fei didn't tell me the truth, were you planning to hide it from me for the rest of your life? Would you be happy if you continued to misunderstand me and live with someone you don't like? Chu Lihui chuckled inwardly when she heard that. Whether he was happy or not, it was all Shi Jing's choice. Vertex. Chapter 3149. Why don't you ask why Shi Jing selfishly chose to cheat on a girl's feelings in order to save the person he likes? Doesn't his conscience hurt? As long as you're alive, everything is worth it. If I could go back in time and start all over again, I would still make the same choice. Chu Lihui thought that Tang Gua is really unlucky to have met this scumbag. It wasn't enough to cheat once. He wanted to cheat again. Xie Qingxue cried even harder. I'd rather die than see you unhappy. Chu Lihui thought, just go to hell. It's so annoying to see her half dead. Qingxue, you're still as willful as before. Although he was scolding Xie Qingxue, Shi Jing's eyes were full of love, and his tone was very gentle. Just by listening to his voice, one could feel that Shi Jing held this woman in the palm of his hand. Chu Lihui had already taken out her phone to record the conversation. It was better to record this kind of evidence. She did not want this adulterous couple to put on an affectionate look and roast an innocent girl on the fire. Tang Gua stood there in a daze with the insulated box in her hand. She did not want to make a scene. She looked as if her acupoints had been pressed. When the others saw this, they thought that she was speechless because of the blow. Apart from Chu Lihui, the other female friends could not help but shake their heads. They thought that Shi Jing was willing to marry Tang Gua. Even if he did not like Tang Gua as much as he liked Xie Qingxue, at least he liked her. Now that they heard the conversation, even if Shi Jing was willing to marry Tang Gua on the surface, he was still unwilling in his heart. If they had not heard it with their own ears, they would have thought that Tang Gua was forcing Shi Jing to marry her. These words sounded very shameless. The two of them hugged each other and confided in each other. Tang Gua stood outside and pretended that this was the first time she had seen this. Chu Lihui was afraid that she would be too emotional, so she grabbed her arm. The others took the insulated box from her. Everyone's intention was clear. They wanted to continue listening and see what else this adulterous couple would say. Ah Jing, let's not be separated in the future, okay? Xie Qingxue finally said those words. If it weren't for the fact that they were in the wrong place, Chu Lihui would have spat on the spot. He wondered if Xie Qingxue had considered that Shi Jing was now a married woman and not a bachelor when she said those words. Now that she said such words, Xie Qingxue was a proper mistress. Why didn't he realize that Xie Qingxue was so shameless? Ah Jing. Xie Qingxue looked at Shi Jing with tears in her eyes and hugged his waist tightly. I don't want to be separated from you again. In fact, I've been thinking about you every day all these years. Even this morning, I was still thinking about you. Even at the very last moment, I'm still waiting for a miracle, hoping that you'll come. I didn't have the courage to look for you because I was afraid that the result would be the same. Looking for you would only be asking for humiliation. If Si Fei hadn't told me the truth, I would have waited until the wedding started and ended. As long as you come and tell me to go with you, I will definitely go with you. When Chu Lihui heard this, she almost cursed it out loud. As long as Shi Jing came, she would go with him. Did Xie Qingxue think that Su Danhua's relationship was a joke? At the peak. Chapter 3150. Although she didn't have much of a relationship with Su Danhua was an infatuated person. She had sacrificed a lot for Xie Qingxue. It was fine if Xie Qingxue didn't agree, but she agreed to marry Su Danhua and said that she could leave at any time in front of Shi Jing. She was simply disgusted. Tang Gua also felt that these words were too much. In the plot, Su Danhua really had nothing to say. Except for Xie Qingxue, she was very rational in other aspects. Basically, she wouldn't take the initiative to hurt anyone. The only thing she did was help Xie Qingxue unconditionally. She tolerated her and doted on her. It could be said that she loved her very much. Now that Xie Qingxue said these words, anyone who heard it would feel that Su Danhua wasn't worth it. Host, can you still hold it in? Xie Qingxue doesn't look like there's anything wrong with her on the surface, but what she says makes me feel uncomfortable and disgusted. You're not human. What's there to be disgusted about? Kong Qi had long received news that Xie Qingxue had escaped from the wedding venue. Later, he learned that Xie Qingxue was going to look for Shi Jing. He knew that there would be a big show today. From the bodyguard, he learned the whereabouts of Tang Guo and the others today. He didn't look for them immediately. Instead, he waited until Xie Qingxue found Shi Jing's company before he left. His excuse was that it was getting dark. His aunt told him to take good care of his little cousin. He was worried that his little cousin would be alone outside, so he came to pick her up. In the end, he bumped into another unpleasant thing. When Kong Qi quietly came up, he saw a group of women standing at the door. Everyone's ears were pointed, as if they were listening to something. Without thinking, he knew that it must be Shi Jing and Xie Qingxue in the office. He quietly walked to Tang Guo's side and didn't say anything. Because the performance was still going on inside, the others only glanced at Kong Qi and didn't say anything. The situation inside had already disgusted them. Not to mention Kong Qi, even if the Heavenly King came, they wouldn't be interested. Qingxue, I won't let you go. Hearing Shi Jing's attitude, the people who had been waiting outside really breathed a sigh of relief. Hearing Shi Jing's words, Xie Qingxue finally came back to her senses. She remembered Tang Guo. She hesitated for a moment before saying, "What about Miss Tang? Now that our relationship has been restored, what should Miss Tang do?" "You don't have to worry about that. I'll take care of it." Speaking of Tang Guo, Shi Jing did have a headache. Although Tang Guo was simple and straightforward, she was also very stubborn. Of course, what he was most afraid of was that Tang Guo was the saintess of the Holy Gu tribe. He didn't know how many strange gu worms she had. If the other party got angry and hurt Xie Qingxue, that would be bad. "Qingxue, I'll take care of Xiaoguo's problem. You don't have to worry about it." Seeing that Xie Qingxue seemed to be in low spirits, it was obvious that she had misunderstood. Shi Jing hurriedly explained, "Have you forgotten that she is the Holy Gu race's holy maiden? Since the Holy Gu tribe was able to take out the medicine to save you, they must have countless methods. I didn't want you to interfere because I was afraid that she would hurt you when she got angry. Before the matter is resolved, you shouldn't face her. If something happens to you, I'd rather you never came to me." Xie Qingxue laughed, "Okay, I believe that Ah Jing can solve these things. I won't rashly go to Miss Tang, lest I drag you down." The Apex. Chapter 3151. Ah Jing, we're sorry for Miss Tang. You have to make it up to her after everything is settled. If there's a chance, I'll apologize to her in person. Xie Qingxue sighed and said, "I hope Miss Tang can understand that if two people don't love each other in a marriage, they can't be happy together. Ah Jing's heart doesn't belong to her. She should find someone who loves her wholeheartedly." Hearing this, Kong Qi thought that Xie Qingxue had finally said something reasonable. He agreed with her. Tang Guo really shouldn't be entangled with a bastard like Shi Jing. If she wanted to find someone, she should find someone like him who would treat her wholeheartedly. How could a bastard like Shi Jing be worthy of such a lovely and pure person like her? Seeing that the two of them were almost done talking, Chu Lihue was ready to rush in and scold the adulterous couple. But when she heard the noise coming from inside, she stopped and held Tang Guo tightly. Because Shi Jing and Xie Qingxue couldn't help but kiss, and the noise was a little loud. "Ah Jing. I miss you so much." "Me too, Qingxue." Chu Lihui and the others looked at each other. They felt that things weren't over yet. Sure enough, they heard more noise coming from inside. "Ah, Jing, don't be like this. This is your office. What if someone comes in?" Chu Lihui, damn it, adulterous couple. Tang Guo almost couldn't hold back her stunned expression. She hadn't met such a ferocious couple in a long time. Kong Qi actually wanted to cover Tang Guo's ears and eyes to prevent the filthy sounds from coming out and polluting her. But when he saw that Chu Lihui was recording the audio, he didn't move. Since they were already here, it was time to let her know the truth. The man inside really didn't like her and had been deceiving her feelings. If nothing happened between him and Xie Qingxue, she might still have some hope, right? Tang Guo didn't move because she thought so. According to the original plot, all of this actually happened. It was just that the location was different. After the two of them confessed their feelings to each other, Shi Jing decided to go back on his words because the original owner knew about this matter and was very irritable. He planned to directly release insects to scare Xie Qingxue away. Shi Jing was very distressed. He forced himself to send Xie Qingxue back. Then, something unexpected happened. The original owner didn't see this scene and thought that this relationship could still be salvaged. She had been involved with Shi Jing for a long time. Because Shi Jing had stopped her, she really didn't dare to be ruthless to Xie Qingxue. She was afraid that if she really hurt Xie Qingxue, Shi Jing would hate her for the rest of her life. The original owner, who didn't know anything about love, could only threaten him with Xie Qingxue's safety. She, who was originally standing on the moral high ground, slowly fell into a disadvantageous position. She became a vicious woman who broke up lovers and was hated by everyone. Other than the members of the Holy Gu tribe, everyone who knew about this matter felt that it was her fault. It could be said that ever since she met Shi Jing, the original owner's fate had been sullen. "Ah, Jing, we're in the office." Xie Qingxue's hesitant voice continued to come from inside, making the delivery man feel a chill run down his spine. Especially the other women. They used to think that Shi Jing wasn't bad. But now, while they were surprised, they also felt that Shi Jing was a bit disgusting. He was a bit like a beast that could be in heat at any time. The peak. Chapter 3152. He was a CEO after all. How could he do such a thing in the office in broad daylight? No, what disgusted them the most was that Shi Jing was now a married man. No matter how close Xie Qingxue was to him in the past, now that she was involved, she was a mistress. So what if they were close? What a disgusting thing, without a proper name. Don't worry. I've already asked them to go down. The door is locked. There are only the two of us on this floor. He had not hugged Xie Qingxue in a long time. He had not been with her either. He used to be a very restrained person. However, in front of Xie Qingxue, all his restraints became zero. He could not restrain himself at all. Now, Xie Qingxue had nothing to worry about. The commotion inside was getting louder and louder. They had already reached the most important part. The people outside could not hold it in any longer. At this moment, Chu Lihui was almost done with the recording. She wanted to rush in and scold this adulterous couple. She did not forget to observe Tang Guo's expression. When she looked, she realized that Tang Guo's eyes were red. It was obvious that she had come back to her senses. Before she could push the door open, Tang Guo pushed it open. At this moment, the two people inside were especially serious. Both of them were shocked by the sudden opening of the door. Xie Qingxue screamed and quickly shrank into Shi Jing's arms. Shi Jing quickly took a pair and covered Xie Qingxue's body. At first, he thought that it was an assistant who had suddenly barged in without receiving notice. He did not pay much attention to it. However, he was still a little unhappy. He decided to fire this assistant after this matter was over. Unexpectedly, when he looked up, he saw Tangua, Chu Lihue, and a few other familiar faces. There was also a pale-faced man leaning against the door. This person's eyes were filled with mockery and a kind of hostility that he could not understand. When he saw Tangua's red eyes, Shi Jing's brain suddenly stopped working. He did not know how to react at all. His instinctive reaction now was to hug Xie Qingxue tightly in his arms and cover her body with a pair of clothes. He looked a little annoyed. He did not expect Tangua to come back at this time. Moreover, there were so many people. Immediately, his gaze fell on Chu Lihue. He wondered if this woman did not like him and was messing with him. Otherwise, how could there be such a coincidence in the world? Shi Jing, hand over the woman in your arms. Tangua stared at Xie Qingxue, whose body was covered by a suit. Did she seduce you? When Shi Jing heard this, he felt very uncomfortable. He was too impulsive and couldn't hold himself back. That was why Xie Qingxue appeared in front of these people in such a sorry state. At this point, he didn't want to hide anything. He planned to lay his cards on the table with Tangua. No, Xiaogua, you guys go out first. I'll explain everything to you. When the time comes, I'll do my best to compensate you. I'm not going out. If you want to explain it now. I'll leave when you're done explaining. Chu Lihue interrupted and even snatched the insulated box from him. She said sarcastically, Shi Jing, oh Shi Jing, I thought you were planning to live a peaceful life after marrying Xiaogua. Even though I knew about your past with Xie Qingxue, I didn't say a word. Put away your suspicious eyes. Today was purely a coincidence. Vertex. Chapter 3153. We came here today because we were tired from shopping and wanted to go to the restaurant for a meal. Xiaoguo was worried that you would be too busy with work and have no time to eat. The restaurant is not far from the company, so she asked someone to make your favorite food and brought it to you personally. Chu Lihue spat, I didn't expect that you would give us such a big surprise as soon as we came here. Shi Jing, I was really blind at that time to fight with Xie Qingxue for you every day. Shi Jing, don't be so arrogant and think that we didn't show up and disturbed your good time. You are now a married man, but you actually did this kind of thing with other women. This is called having a mistress, I hope you know. Xiaogua, you go back first. I will give you a reasonable explanation. Tangua looked straight at Shi Jing, why can't I do it now? I saw you with this woman with my own eyes. Can you explain this? Shi Jing, explain it clearly immediately, or I will take her life. As soon as she finished speaking, everyone heard a strange sound. No, it should be two kinds of sounds. One came from Tangua's mouth, and the other was found in the surroundings. Shi Jing, who knew what it might be, quickly said, Xiaogua, if you have something to say, let's talk it out. Don't be impulsive. Everything is my fault, it has nothing to do with Xie Qingxue. In the blink of an eye, the goo worms had densely crawled out and tightly surrounded Shi Jing and Xie Qingxue. It was not the first time that Chu Lihue and Kong Qi had seen it, so they were not surprised that Tangguo would release goo worms. The other friends of Tangguo felt their scalps tingle. Although they knew that Tangguo was not simple, seeing so many scary goo worms summoned in an instant scared them so much that their faces turned pale. Tangguo commanded the goo worms to crawl towards Shi Jing's side. She felt very happy in her heart. Speak clearly, otherwise, I will let the goo worms bite her flesh and skin off her skin, turning her into a bloody person. Tangua's ferocious appearance is indeed very intimidating. Chu Lihui also felt that even if Tangguo was an innocent person, she wasn't someone that anyone could afford to offend. Cousin's guess was right. Tangguo would release insects to bite these two people. In fact, Tangguo had already commanded the bugs to climb onto Shi Jing's body. He even wanted Shi Jing to experience the feeling of being bitten, so he ordered some insects to bite Shi Jing's leg. Shi Jing instantly felt the feeling of his flesh being gnawed by the insects. Qing Shui was so weak. If all of these insects were to bite Qing Shui, she would be in so much pain. Alright, I'll tell you. Shi Jing covered Xie Qingshue's face, afraid that she would be scared. Xiaoguo, can you wait? Let us get dressed first. Tangguo glanced at Shi Jing coldly. I didn't ask you to take it off. Since you've already taken it off in broad daylight, what's the difference between talking with it on and without it? Hurry up and explain. Shi Jing had no choice but to start saying the words he had thought of. Xiaoguo, I'm sorry. I went to Miaojiang to find the medicine to save Qing Shui. The sacred medicine of your Holy Gu tribe is not passed to outsiders. I had no choice but to do that. Before asking for the medicine, I had already decided that I would treat you well and spend the rest of my life with you, as long as Qing Shui can be well. Tangguo asked angrily, then what's going on now? Didn't you want to lie to me for the rest of my life? Peek. Chapter 3154. Now you're even hugging each other. You're regretting it, right? You deceived my feelings and cheated our Holy Gu tribe of our medicine. You think you've done enough and you don't want to continue. Xiaoguo, I didn't plan to continue my relationship with Qing Shui. But when she came looking for me, I realized that I can't forget her. I deceived you and cheated your Holy Gu tribe of their medicine. I'll compensate you with other things. I also hope that you can fulfill our wish. Chu Lihui interrupted, Shi Jing, be careful with your words. What do you mean by asking Tangguo to fulfill your wish? You were the one who deceived a young lady's feelings. Now that you've been caught cheating, you still have to kidnap, remember? Are you two friends? Isn't it disgusting? CEO, sure, you're indeed in the wrong. You deceived Xiaoguo's feelings for the holy medicine. Now that you've gotten the holy medicine and saved the person you like, you can't help yourself when you see the person you like appear. Kong Qi also said, you've made several mistakes. First, you deceived Xiaoguo's feelings. Second, you deceived the entire Holy Gu tribe's feelings. Third, you cheated on Xiaoguo. Fourth, you're actually trying to use your deep feelings to kidnap Xiaoguo and ask her to forgive you. Aren't you a bit naive? After waiting for so long, he could finally give Shi Jing a beating. Kong Qi felt comfortable all over. It was even more comfortable than eating an immortal pill. All of this started with your deceit. Now, you're breaking your promise. It's the same as burning the bridge after crossing the river. CEO, sure, you're wrong. Don't you feel ashamed to ask Xiaoguo to forgive you? Shi Jing's expression was ugly. CEO Kong, you're meddling too much. This doesn't seem to have anything to do with you. Of course it has something to do with me. Xiaoguo is my cousin's good friend. Now that my cousin's good friend is being bullied, as her cousin, I naturally have to help my cousin take care of Xiaoguo. Kong Qi said matter-of-factly, so that she won't be bullied by someone like CEO Shi who doesn't keep his word. When Kong Qi said this, Shi Jing indeed had nothing to say. He guessed that Kong Qi must be taking revenge on him. In order to help Chu Lihui vent her anger, he had come to add insult to injury. Perhaps the two of them had been waiting for this day for a long time. Maybe he knew that after he and Tangguo got married, he had been waiting in the dark. Otherwise, how could there be such a coincidence? But now that things had come to this, he absolutely could not give up on Xie Qingxue. Xiaoguo, what do you want as compensation? Just tell me directly. As long as I can do it, I will compensate you. Shi Jing endured the pain of being bitten by the insects and spoke to Tang Guo with a look of desperation, which was very funny. He looked as if he was afraid that others wouldn't know how protective he was of his mistress. Xiaoguo, you don't have to be afraid. You have me and my big cousin to back you up. You can have anything you want. Chu Lihui patted Tang Guo's shoulder and said, Shi Jing is heartless. We've all seen it. You can ask for anything you want. Go ahead and ask for it. If Shi Jing dares to do anything to you, I will be the first to not let him off. My big cousin will be the second to not let him off. Chu Lihui felt that she had gained a lot of face today. She didn't think that her big cousin could be used like this. System, you're worrying too much. If it weren't for the fact that the great host was here, would your big cousin have the time to help you deal with this kind of trivial matter? Your big cousin is a wolf. He has always been drooling over the great host, this delicious piece of meat. Peek. Chapter 3155. It wasn't easy to snatch it before, but now there's no need to be polite. The system snorted in its heart. Shi Jing and Xie Qingxue were really shameless. As expected, the two of them didn't take the host seriously. He deserved it. Chu Lihui had recorded the entire conversation between the two of them. When the time came, if Xie Qingxue pretended to be pitiful, they would use it to slap their faces. To deal with scum, one had to be fast and ruthless. Shi Jing's gaze towards Tang Guo now was a little cold. Seeing him like this, Tang Guo couldn't help but laugh. Did he really think that everything revolved around him? She wasn't as concerned about relationships as the original host. Scum should stay away from her. She also didn't expect Shi Jing and Xie Qingxue to be so awesome that she directly bumped into such a scene. As a result, she couldn't even pretend to deceive herself and others. As a straightforward girl, seeing such a situation, she should understand that Shi Jing didn't like her anymore. It wasn't like in the plot, where Shi Jing's hesitation for Xie Qingxue would always create an illusion that the original host's feelings could be salvaged. Shi Jing and Xie Qingxue had already become the past. If Shi Jing had been more straightforward in the beginning, the middle wouldn't have dragged on for so long. Xiaoguo, what conditions do you have? Tell me. As long as I can do it, I will definitely do it. Just treat it as if I owe you. Now that things have been said, we might not be able to continue. I can't let go of Qingxue, so let's end it. You can also find someone more suitable for you. Shi Jing, what do you mean by treat it as if you owe me? You owe me in the first place. You deceived my feelings, deceived my clansmen of the Holy Gu tribe, and cheated my Holy Gu tribe's only sacred medicine. You lied to me that the person you wanted to save was your sister. I asked to see her, but you said that your sister was recuperating abroad. Tang Guo stared at Shi Jing and said, now that you've done such a thing, it's your fault. Shi Jing, I won't forgive you. I'm sorry. There's no use in apologizing. Compared to apologizing, I want to release goo worms to bite the two of you to death. I want the goo worms to bite you to death. What Tang Guo said with a serious face made people's scalps tingle. But I know that in this world, you can't bite people to death casually, or you'll be locked up. I am the saintess of the Holy Gu tribe. I shoulder the hope of the entire Holy Gu tribe. I cannot lose my freedom because of you. Since you two like each other and can't control yourselves in broad daylight, then there's nothing more to say. Shi Jing, I won't forgive you, but from today onwards, I won't like you anymore. Xiaoguo, make your request. Shi Jing thought that Tang Guo was very sad now. After all, she seemed to really like him and might not want anything. For this reason, he felt a rare sense of guilt in his heart. Unbeknownst to him, Tang Guo was already calculating the conditions in her heart. Shi Jing had cheated the Holy Gu tribe of their only sacred medicine. How could it be possible without paying a price? Return the sacred medicine to me. Tang Guo looked at Shi Jing with her clear eyes. The sacred medicine you took away was the last one left in our sacred Gu tribe. The secret recipe of the sacred medicine has long been lost. This was originally a life-saving medicine left to me by my parents. Because you married into my family and gave it to me, and your performance was recognized by the clansmen, I gave the only sacred medicine to you. Since you lied to me and betrayed me, return the sacred medicine to me now. Peak. Chapter 3156. Xiaoguo, can we change the condition? The holy medicine is gone. Shi Jing didn't expect that the recipe for the holy medicine was lost. He was in a difficult position. He couldn't spit out the medicine that he ate. Tang Guo frowned. Her eyes fell on Xie Qingshua's body. She ate it, right? This was a statement, not a question. Shi Jing said, Qingshua ate it. She doesn't know about this. Xiaoguo, don't make things difficult for her. If you have any problems, just come at me. You're really good to her. Tang Guo expressed her emotions appropriately, lest everyone suspect anything. Okay. System, it's going to collapse sooner or later anyway. What's the point of maintaining it now? The sooner it collapses, the better. The sooner it collapses, the better. What you said to me before was just an excuse, right? Shi Jing hesitated and nodded. I'm sorry. He thought that Tang Guo was very sad. After all, the most she could do now was to release some bugs to bite him. Otherwise, with so many bugs, they might really be bitten to death. She had so many goo worms in her hands. The one she had now was not poisonous, but it didn't mean that there were others with poison. Tang Guo did have many poisonous goo worms, but this was the modern world. She didn't want people to catch her weakness and give Shi Jing and Xie Qingshu a chance to fight back. Therefore, the goo worms she used were all non-poisonous. She observed Shi Jing's expression. Because she planted the love goo, it was still sleeping in Shi Jing's heart. However, not long after, the love goo would realize that Shi Jing had fallen in love with someone else. When that time came, it would start to torture Shi Jing. Host, if you didn't plant another love goo, would Shi Jing's love goo take effect? The system didn't understand. Tang Guo sneered. Who said I didn't plant the love goo? I planted the female goo long ago. You planted it. When did this happen? Why didn't I know? Tang Guo laughed and said, that's because you were too careless and didn't realize. I planted the love goo the day after I arrived at the Shi family. The system had a bad feeling. Who did you plant it for? Could it be Shi Jing's parents? You're thinking too much. How could I plant the love goo on those two? The corners of Tang Guo's lips curled up slightly as she communicated with the system in her heart. The Shi family has a dog that guards the door. When no one was paying attention, I planted the love spell on that dog. From our previous interactions, I realized that Shi Jing doesn't seem to like dogs very much. That dog was raised by his father, and his mother treasured it very much. She basically raised it as half a son. System, fuck. This woman is really bad. He didn't expect that his host would be so naughty as to plant the love goo on a dog. Shi Jing still didn't like dogs, and dogs couldn't control the female goo's emotions to ease Shi Jing's pain. This time, when the male Gu woke up and realized that the person Shi Jing loved was Xie Qingxue, his emotions fluctuated a little, which was enough to make him feel better. If I tell you what I want, will you give it to me? Tang Guo finally asked. Shi Jing breathed a sigh of relief. He said, yes, as long as I can afford it, I will give it to you. Okay, then I won't stand on ceremony. This is what you owe me, what you owe my holy Gu tribe. Tang Guo still looked a little sad, which made Shi Jing feel a little guilty. Peak. Chapter 3157. System, it's too early to feel guilty. It won't be too late to feel guilty after the host raises his conditions. Based on the host's temperament, the conditions that he would raise would definitely make Shi Jing feel extremely uncomfortable. The sacred medicine is the most precious thing in the Holy Gu tribe. It's something that the entire tribe protects. It can save lives and help people on the verge of death recover. You will know how precious it is. Of course, Shi Jing was aware of this. Unfortunately, the recipe for the sacred medicine was lost. He didn't think that Tang Guo was lying to him. Today's events had happened too suddenly. Tang Guo's words should be true. Moreover, after being together for so long, her personality was still so pure. She wouldn't lie to him. System, wrong. Being too confident isn't a good thing. Kong Qi was also very curious about what conditions Tang Guo would raise. He was worried that Tang Guo would be soft-hearted and easily let Shi Jing go. He could only support Tang Guo. He didn't have the qualifications to raise any substantial conditions to make Shi Jing agree. However, when Tang Guo said that the sacred medicine was very precious, he had a premonition. This little girl was a little naive, but she was very clear-headed. When she raised her conditions later, perhaps she wouldn't lose out too much. However, he didn't expect that Tang Guo's conditions would surprise him so much. The sacred medicine can be said to be all the property of my holy Gu tribe. Tang Guo stared at Shi Jing. Her gaze fell on Xie Qingxue. The person you cherish the most is her. Your heart and eyes are all about her. Even if I kill her and snatch you away, it's meaningless. Therefore, I want all of your wealth to compensate my clansmen. Your actions have made me lose face in front of my tribe members. You have also made my tribe members lose face. As long as you are willing to give all your wealth to me, leaving nothing behind, then our relationship will be void. In the future, you will walk your own path and I will cross my single-plank bridge. If you care about the woman in your arms, then go ahead. I will forget about you and won't do anything else. System, what a scam. Take all his wealth and leave a love Gu to torture him. Whoever provokes this woman will be unlucky. When Tang Guo made this request, everyone was stunned. Chu Lihui was the first to react. She almost clapped her hands and cheered. Yes, she loved it. How could a little compensation be enough? What Shi Jing had cheated him out of was a life-saving medicine. If the world's richest man could obtain a sacred medicine to extend his life in his final days, he would definitely agree to give up all of his wealth. To the richest man in the world, being alive was the greatest wealth. As long as he was alive, he would have endless wealth. However, Shi Jing was not the richest man in the world, nor did he have the connections of the richest man in the world. The other party was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, standing at the peak of life from the very beginning. He had never experienced the trials and tribulations of the life of the world's richest man. Once all the wealth was gone, what would happen to Shi Jing? She really looked forward to it. As far as she knew, in order to strengthen Shi Jing's position in the company, the Shi couple had transferred most of their nominal shares to him. If these shares became Tang Guo's, the Shi family's company would no longer be the Shi family's company. Kong Qi also thought of this point. His eyes lit up as he looked at Tang Guo. This young lady really made him look at her in a new light. Peak. Chapter 3158. Shi Jing did not expect that Tang Guo would directly ask for all his wealth. He hesitated and did not speak again. All the wealth under his name, not to mention the fixed assets, just the shares in the company, was a huge sum of wealth. If Tang Guo wanted all the fixed assets under his name, he might not hesitate at all. However, all the wealth included the company's shares. Even Tang Guo could not react in time. Chu Lihui and Kong Qi, who were standing beside her, could not react in time. As long as he agreed, these two people would be happy to help him liquidate the assets under his name. He would not be able to do anything to them. And the shares in the company were basically the Shi family's right to speak in the company. Once they lost the shares, the Shi family's right to speak in the company was almost gone. It was very difficult to make a comeback. Father Shi and Mother Shi transferred most of the shares to him in order to push him up. If he really agreed, his parents would probably be angered to death. If he did not agree, it would seem that Yen did not keep her promise. Of course, he was worried that if he did not agree, Tang Guo would fly into a rage out of humiliation and directly control the surrounding goo worms to hurt Xie Qingxue. Xiao Guo, you're making things difficult for me. In the end, Shi Jing said this sentence in an attempt to arouse some of Tang Guo's feelings and make her take a step back. Other than the company's shares, all the wealth under my name will be yours. How about that? As long as the company was there, the money and fixed assets would be there very quickly. His parents would not be alarmed. However, if the company's shares were gone, the Shi family would be in chaos. Tang Guo shook her head. Shi Jing cheated the only holy medicine from me. Now, he only wants to compensate me with a little wealth. If I bring this back, I don't know how sad my clansmen will be. My conditions will not change. I want all the wealth under your name, including all the shares in your company. I'll emphasize again, all of it. Not a single bit can be left. You can only take the woman in your arms and disappear from my sight. You're not allowed to take anything else. It's fine if you don't agree. That means it's not negotiable. According to the rules of our clan, I will take back whoever ate the holy medicine. Now that the sacred medicine is no longer in the formula, we need the cooperation of the woman in your arms. See if we can find traces of the sacred medicine on her body. Shi Jing's expression changed. What did he mean by finding traces? He just wanted to use Xie Qingxue as an experiment. Xie Qingxue was the only woman he cared about. How could he do that? Let me think about it. Shi Jing had a headache. He did not expect Tang Guo to push him so hard. Who could have imagined that this naive and pure little girl could be so heartless when she didn't care about feelings? I know I'm sorry for deceiving you, but there's no room for discussion. Hurry up and think about it. Once you agree, I'll inform my clansmen about this. I lost the only sacred medicine. As the Holy Gu race's saintess, I have to give my clansmen an explanation. The fact that I didn't take your lives is already out of consideration for the past. Tang Guo's eyes fell on Xie Qingxue, and the look in her eyes suddenly changed. You've been hesitating for so long. Is it because this woman is not as important to you as you think? In your heart, she's not worth all your wealth. Vertex. Chapter 3159. The people behind Tang Guo almost applauded when they heard her comparing Shi Jing's wealth to Xie Qingxue's. This comparison was really amazing. If Shi Jing didn't agree now, Xie Qingxue would feel uncomfortable even if she understood the importance of this matter. Shi Jing's expression was very ugly. Obviously, he also understood. If he didn't agree to Tang Guo's request today, he and Xie Qingxue could have other misunderstandings after resolving the previous misunderstanding. Xiao Guo, this matter is very important to me, so I need some time to think about it. After all, what do you need to think about? Don't you care about the woman in your arms? Moreover, everyone here saw clearly what you did with her just now. Even if you don't want her and choose to live with me, you are already a dirty thing. I am the Holy Gu tribe saintess. You are so dirty. I am not a garbage collection station. How can I still want you? Our Holy Gu tribe advocates pure feelings. Not only must our feelings be pure, but our bodies must also be pure. Especially if you have an affair with another woman after we get married. If you were in the Holy Gu tribe's village, you would be eaten to death by thousands of Gu. Tang Guo wasn't lying. Betrayal of feelings and bodies was very serious in the Holy Gu tribe. If they didn't like each other, they could break up, but they were not allowed to fool around after marriage. All the tribe members had always followed this rule. President Shi, hurry up and think about it. Do you want the wealth or the woman in your arms? Kong Qi couldn't wait any longer and said, I know it's not convenient for you now, but it's okay. When you think about it, I can arrange for people to help you with many things and procedures. I am very experienced in this matter and know a lot of people. I can handle some small matters like this without any problem. Kong Qi gently stroked his jade thumb ring. His smile was still the same, but Tang Guo could hear a hint of joy in his voice. This guy really couldn't wait any longer. Ah Jing, don't be difficult anymore. Xie Qingxue was actually very upset. Although she could understand why Shi Jing didn't agree immediately, she said, I did take the sacred medicine. I will go back with Miss Tang and cooperate with them to test the medicine. I'm already very happy to know your intentions. After all, this was all of their wealth. No one would agree without hesitation. Qing Shui, I won't let you go. Shi Jing hugged Xie Qingxue tightly and raised his head to look at Tang Guo. Xiao Guo, are you really going to be so ruthless? Chu Lihui was a little irritable. Shi Jing, please have some shame. What did Xiao Guo mean by exterminating them? You're the one who cheated them of their feelings. For Xie Qingxue, you cheated them of their most precious sacred medicine. Now that they don't want your life, they didn't force Xie Qingxue to spit out the sacred medicine either. If you give up all your wealth, this problem will be solved. It's not that difficult. Shi Jing, I really look down on you. If you're a man, then be more straightforward. There's no such thing as having the best of both worlds. Do you think you're the son of God and can take all the good things? You're already like this with Xie Qingxue today. Please don't hold Xiao Guo hostage anymore. Vertex. Chapter 3160. Chu Lihui was so angry that her head was about to explode. Hurry up. Whether you want the person or the money, choose for yourself. It's not that difficult. Ah Jing, let me go with Miss Tang. I don't want to make things difficult for you. Xie Qingxue was very sad and what she said was true. She regretted being so impulsive and causing Shi Jing to be in trouble. Miss Tang, if you want to blame someone, blame me. If I didn't impulsively come to find Ah Jing, this wouldn't have happened. It's all my fault. I couldn't help myself. I'm really sorry. Ah Jing didn't mean to hurt you. He did it for me, so. Tang Guo looked at Xie Qingxue coldly. So, you're showing off to me that Shi Jing lied to me for the Holy Gu tribe's sacred medicine for you. When he did this, he was actively trying to hurt me. He clearly has someone he likes, but in order to get the sacred medicine, he lied to my feelings. This is intentional harm, not unintentional harm. I don't care about how deep your feelings are. Today, either you come back with me to the Holy Gu tribe, or Shi Jing hands over all his wealth. Of course, if you're not willing, you can die in front of me and prove to me that your feelings are as deep as the sea. Tang Gui made another suggestion. As long as you die, even if I don't take Shi Jing's wealth, it'll be considered as an explanation to the tribe. Xie Qingxue wanted to say something, but Shi Jing said, "Okay, I agree." He already felt that it was useless to say anything today. It was impossible for him to give up on Xie Qingxue, so he could only give up on his wealth. He believed that even if he gave up everything, he could make a comeback with his ability. After all, the Shi family was not a simple family. With resources and connections, it was not impossible to establish another company. Kong Qi stood at the side with a faint smile on his face. He gently touched his jade ring. Make a comeback. With him, Kong Qi, around, it was impossible. System, TSK, TSK, TSK. Shi Jing, this system won't remind you. Looking at that man's smile, it seems that he doesn't want to give you a chance to make a comeback. Xiaoguo, leave the rest to us. Chu Lihui patted her chest and promised. She even pointed at Kong Qi, who was standing at the door. My cousin is very good at this kind of thing. Leave it to him. I guarantee that all of Shi Jing's assets will be cleared. When it's in your hands, not a single cent less, right, cousin? Kong Qi smiled and nodded. I've already made the call. A lawyer and staff will come over to deal with this matter in a moment. His gaze fell on Shi Jing's position. CEO Shi, to avoid any more trouble, let's settle this matter first before leaving. For a while, we'll be here. And I'll send you 3 meals to be sent to you. Shi Jing's face sank. This Kong Qi really didn't give him any chance. Director Kong, don't you think you've gone too far? To be to me. To be to be two's to be. System, what a cousin's friend. If cousin Chu Lihui knows the truth, she'll probably cry. CEO Shi, if this matter gets out, it won't be good for you and Xie Qingxue. Chapter 3161. Isn't it good to settle this matter as soon as possible? Chu Lihui smiled and said, just now, I was at the door and accidentally recorded something. If CEO Shi really wants to do something, I might not be able to hold back and share some things with everyone. Shi Jing's expression changed drastically. He looked at Chu Lihui as if he wanted to eat her up. CEO Shi, don't stare at me. After so many things, I'm a person who pays more attention to evidence. Xiaoguo is so innocent. I didn't really record these things to publicize. I'm just afraid that you'll be shameless and hurt Xiaoguo again. After all, she's too innocent. How can she play with someone as knowledgeable as CEO Shi? System, innocent. This was the biggest joke he had heard this year. Someone actually thought that his host was innocent. Oh God, how scary. All of Shi Jing's escape routes were blocked. He subconsciously looked at Tang Gui, only to find that Tang Gui's expression was cold. There was no longer the innocent smile on her face. She didn't even look at him. He understood that there was no way to salvage the situation today. He could only accept his fate and cooperate with Kong Qi's arrangements. The outside world didn't know that something big was happening in the Shi Corporation. Kong Qi's people moved very quickly. However, the transfer of these assets wasn't something that could be done in a day or two. Shi Jing stayed in the company the whole time, and the Shi couple didn't suspect anything. After all, they could still call Shi Jing, and the company didn't have any abnormalities. The fixed assets and stock funds under Shi Jing's name were transferred very quickly. As for the company's shares, it was much slower. However, with Shi Jing's cooperation, it wasn't difficult. Many days later, all of Shi Jing's assets were transferred under Tangua's name. Kong Qi rummaged through Shi Jing's wallet and turned to discuss with Tangua. There are still a few thousand yuan in the wallet. Let's leave it for CEO Shi to rent a house and take a taxi. After all, CEO Shi has to live. We can't not leave him a single cent. CEO Shi's car has also been sold. Without some money, he still has to support a woman. It's still quite difficult. System, is this guy here to be funny? This was completely stabbing Shi Jing in the heart. Tangua replied, okay, keep the money in the wallet for him. Keep your cell phone too. Cell phones nowadays aren't cheap. They cost a few thousand yuan, Kong Qi said. If you don't have a communication device, it'll be inconvenient to do anything. Alright, keep it. Tangua's expression was cold, but in fact, she was crazy with joy. This guy was really to her liking. Kong Qi wandered around the office. Finally, his gaze fell on Tangua's finger, wedding ring. Do you want to take it off? This wedding ring was custom made by Shi Jing in order to win the heart of the original owner. That was what he had used when he proposed. Shi Jing was also wearing it now. He hadn't thought about it at all these days. He quickly took off the ring and handed it over to Kong Qi. Since this person was deceiving me from the start, I have no use for this thing. Brother Kong Qi, pass it to him. Now that he has no money, the ring can still be used a second time. Kong Qi nodded and smiled. Okay, Miss Xia is so understanding, and CEO Shi is a person who values friendship. The two of them probably won't care about this. After all, true love can tolerate everything. If you don't have money to get married, if you don't have money to buy a ring, it doesn't matter if you use the ring a second time. Peak. Chapter 3162. Chu Lihui and the others were stunned when they heard this. Especially when Kong Qi and Tangguo were singing the same tune. Almost every word they said was enough to infuriate the other party. Then, Xiaoguo's matter here is over. Is there anything else that I haven't thought of? Kong Qi asked in a light tone. It was not worth it. Perhaps the things that he had done recently made him feel good. His face was slightly rosier than before. Tangua's female friends did not go back these few days. At most, they went to the restaurant downstairs to sleep and wash up. As long as they were awake, they would immediately come up. The things that happened recently really made them dumbfounded. Especially when they saw Shi Jing with their own eyes, it did not matter anymore. They also saw how the legendary king of hell, Kong Qi, did things. They hid in a corner and trembled. No wonder the Shi family almost annexed the Chu family. When the Chu family was in such a difficult time, Kong Qi took action and solved everything. At that time, the Shi family did not even dare to fart. It turned out that Shi Jing, a young talent, was just a younger brother in front of the king of hell. Brother Kong Qi is very thoughtful. He thought of everything that I did not think of. Tangua turned around and looked at Shi Jing and Xie Qingxue. Since Shi Jing has already given me all his wealth, then the matter of him cheating me of the sacred medicine is cancelled out. System, take note, take note. Host is talking about the matter of the sacred medicine being cancelled out by the wealth. It is not cancelled out. Brother Kong Qi, Lihui, thank you for these days. Let's go. With a huge sum of money in the shares that Shi Jing gave her, she was going to do something big. Brother Kong Chi, I won't care about that company. I will sell all my shares for money. System, isn't it just a matter of putting your left hand to your right hand? My dear host is quite reserved. Kong Chi was stunned. Actually, if you don't care, you can hire someone to help you. He knew many professional managers. Not to mention the Sure family, no matter how big the company was, they could manage it. He just needed to hire a few more. Also, money is easy to depreciate in the heart. Now that you have so many shares in the company, you can hire a professional manager to help you manage it. Also, didn't you say that this was an explanation to your people? A few days ago, he said that he wanted to let his clansmen come out to see the world. When the time comes, I can arrange for his clansmen to come to the company for internships. With a place to train, our clansmen will be able to grow quickly. Tang Guo felt that everything Kong Chi thought was too much in line with her wishes. Seriously, whatever she wanted, the other party would give her. That makes sense. At first, I didn't know any professional managers. Kong Chi did his best to maintain a faint smile as he said warmly, I know a lot of people. When I help people, I help them to the end. Let me help you with this matter. I will hire a few professional managers to help you manage it in 2 days. But before that, I need CEO Sure's cooperation to transfer the management rights of the company. Actually, at this time, Sure Jing had no choice but to agree. Tang Guo was the one who held the most shares and had Kong Chi's support. Even if the people in the company were unwilling and wanted to use some tricks, it was useless. After all, the person who intervened in this matter was the legendary King of Hell. It was just as Kong Chi had expected. Although the company's higher-ups were shocked, because of Kong Chi's appearance, they almost did not dare to say no. Top point. Chapter 3163. What a joke. Kong Chi had already interfered. Now that the matter was settled, what could they change? With Kong Chi's interference, the company's future development would definitely not be too bad. They were not the Sure family. The Sure family had no say in the company, and even their remaining shares were pitifully small. It was not like the company was going to close down. It had nothing to do with them at all. So, why should they offend Kong Chi, the King of Hell, just to help the Sure family? The management of the company was very smooth, and Kong Chi was very fast. A day later, the manager he hired for Tang Guo was already online and came to help manage the company. All of this happened too quickly. When the assets were transferred, the news was very tightly concealed. The Sure couple had always been very confident in Sure Jing. In addition, Sure Jing did not like to be watched by others. Many years ago, the Sure couple had no way to check the whereabouts of his assets. When they found out that everything was settled, there was no way to salvage it. Sure Jing temporarily went to Zhu Jing's house. Now, the only person who could take him and Xie Qingxue in was Zhu Jing. He did not dare to bring Xie Qingxue back to the Sure family's old mansion. Now that his parents knew about this matter, he did not know how to end it. After Yuan Shiwei and Fang Xifei found out about what happened, they did not react for many days. When they came back to their senses, Zhu Jing said, Sure Jing, why were you so impulsive? Now that you've given everything away, what are you going to do? If uncle and auntie find out, won't they be furious? To think that Tang Guo dared to ask for it. That's all your wealth. I didn't expect that this woman, who usually looks innocent and lively, would be so ruthless. When Xie Qingxue heard these words, she felt very guilty. She was very touched that Sure Jing had given up all his assets for her. At the same time, she felt that Tang Guo's actions were completely forcing him into a dead end. Ah Jing had nothing now, and he did not know how to explain it to his parents. If the Shi couple knew that Ah Jing had given up all his wealth for her, who knew what they would think of her? Qingxue, don't think too much. I'll settle everything. You just need to stay by my side obediently. Compared to everything else, nothing is more important than us being together. Shi Jing comforted her. Without you by my side for more than 2 years, I kept feeling like something was missing. It was as if I had no soul, like a walking corpse. If I lose my wealth, I can still earn it back. If you don't have it, then I have nothing. We should feel lucky that we're still together. Xie Qingxue was comforted. Zhu Jing and Fang Xifei were also touched by their feelings. It's all that Tangua's fault. She's so heartless. Fang Xifei said, she was actually jealous that you liked Qingxue wholeheartedly and wanted to sow discord between you two. In the end, what she didn't expect was that you didn't care about those things. You decisively gave up all your wealth and chose Xie Qingxue. Right now, Tangua is probably hiding in some corner crying in regret. Tangua, who Fang Xifei said was hiding in the corner regretting her decision, was currently eating hot pot with Chu Lihui and Kong Qi this time. They were not eating outside, but at home. Tangua personally made the Mandarin duck hot pot, especially the clear soup side, which she cooked with medicinal herbs. The things put inside were basically all beneficial to Kong Qi Vertex. Chapter 3164. Therefore, it didn't matter if Kong Qi ate more. Big brother Kong Qi, you can eat more of this. These medicinal herbs are relatively mild. You should eat some from time to time. It's good for your body. Of course, Kong Qi was not polite. He tasted a mouthful and felt that this was the best hot pot he had ever eaten in his life. He drank another mouthful of soup and instantly felt that this soup was also the best he had ever eaten in his life. Chu Lihui was originally eating the red soup. She was a person who liked spicy food. Seeing Kong Qi enjoying it so much, she couldn't help but try some of the clear soup. Once she started eating, she couldn't stop. Kong Qi watched Chu Lihui eat the food that Tangguo prepared for him. When Chu Lihui was about to reach her chopsticks into the clear soup, he blocked her with a ladle. Cousin, your red soup is suitable for you. Xiaoguo specially prepared this clear soup for me. There isn't much, just enough for me to eat alone. Chu Lihui naturally didn't listen. She wanted to snatch the food inside. However, no matter how fast she was, she couldn't be faster than Kong Qi. After snatching for a minute, she still couldn't snatch the food she liked. In the end, she gave up angrily. If big brother Kong Qi likes to eat it, I will research more delicious food with medicinal herbs in the future for you to eat. Tangguo said. System, and the dregs have been dealt with. It's time to coax my future husband. Will it be troublesome? Kong Qi naturally wanted to eat it. If you don't mind people seeing your medicinal cuisine recipes, why don't I get someone to prepare it? Of course, if it can't be spread, then forget it. He was already very lucky to be able to eat such delicious food. If it was someone else, he might have opened his mouth and asked to buy the recipes. But facing Tangguo, all his schemes couldn't be used against her. I don't mind. These are all ordinary recipes for nourishing the body. Big brother Kong Qi reminded me. I can't be so suitable every time. I have prepared some food for you to eat. Later, I will write down the recipes for you. That way, you can eat healthy and delicious food every day. You don't say, Xiaoguo, those pills of yours are really useful. Ever since I was young, I've never seen any color on my cousin's face. Recently, I suddenly noticed that cousin's complexion is ruddy. Not good, you look much better than before. Tang Guo giggled. Brother Kong Chi has always been very good-looking. It doesn't matter if there's any color on your face. But it's a good thing to have some color. It means that your body is getting better. Kong Chi was a little uncomfortable from the praise, but he enjoyed it very much. After a meal, Kong Chi was very satisfied. Within 2 days, Tang Guo gave Kong Chi a very thick notebook. It was filled with prescriptions that she had written down from memory. Most of them were dietary prescriptions that could nourish one's body. Main dishes, side dishes, and soups were all prepared for the 4 seasons of the year. Everything was available, and Kong Chi would never get sick of it. The system looked on and was a little envious. These prescriptions were really specially formulated by the host according to Kong Chi's physical condition. With a manager managing the company, Tang Guo also had money in her hands. She didn't have much money, but she had a lot of property. In order to help her clansmen develop, she used her money to buy several villas in the villa complex. She was prepared to take over a portion of them for training so that they could intern in the company sooner. Tang Guo also explained the matter with Shi Jing to her clansmen. Peak. Chapter 3165. The clansmen did not blame her. Instead, they felt indignant for her. The clansmen knew how much Tang Guo liked Shi Jing. They did not expect that Shi Jing, who looked good, would do such a thing. Although Tang Guo took away all of Shi Jing's wealth, the clansmen were still quite angry. If Tang Guo had not stopped them, they would have come out to find trouble with Shi Jing. But now that Tang Guo had drawn a blueprint for the clansmen, and they were using Shi Jing's former company to do things, they felt a little better. They felt that they had vented their anger by taking control of Shi Jing's former company. They had no complaints about Tang Guo's arrangements. Tang Guo's arrangements over the years had made the clansmen very comfortable, and they understood how important it was to interact with the outside world. If it were not for their lack of information, the holy maiden would not have been deceived by Shi Jing. After a portion of the clansmen were brought to the villa, Tang Guo asked Kong Chi for help to hire some teachers to teach them every day. In any case, they would teach them everything they needed to learn. Since it was Tang Guo's matter, Kong Chi was naturally very willing. Tang Guo did not know that after the Shi couple found out that Shi Jing had given away all of his wealth, they were now arguing with him. Especially when they found out that Shi Jing had given everything away for Xie Qingxue, they were so angry that they almost fell ill. They threatened to never acknowledge Xie Qingxue as their daughter-in-law. The couple ordered Shi Jing to leave Xie Qingxue and apologize to Tang Guo. Unexpectedly, at this moment, Shi Jing suddenly had a relapse. He convulsed in pain and fell to the ground, scaring everyone. They hurriedly sent him to the hospital for a checkup. The checkup showed that Shi Jing's body was very healthy and there were no problems. After a few days of recuperation, Shi Jing was discharged. However, just as he walked out of the hospital, he convulsed in pain again. Xie Qingxue, who was supporting Shi Jing, was scared out of her wits. This kind of thing happened many times. Shi Jing had changed hospitals for checkups, but there were no results. Because of this, the Shi couple did not dare to quarrel with Shi Jing for the time being. They only hated Xie Qingxue. One day, Shi Jing suddenly remembered something. It was the love goo. There was nothing wrong with his body. If there was a problem, it would be that he had taken the love spell when he married Tang Guo. He asked Zhu Jing to help him investigate the love goo. In the end, the information he obtained was that when the love goo acted up, it was similar to his. From then on, whenever he saw Xie Qingxue or thought of Xie Qingxue in his heart, the love goo would activate. In fact, because the female goo was too far away, the male goo would feel uneasy, and after being irritable, it would suffer. Is there any way to solve it? Zhu Jing shook his head. Based on the information I've received, I've never heard of a way to completely remove the love goo. However, I heard that the female goo's parasitic host can control the male goo's emotions through the female goo, so that the male goo won't eat the parasitic host and won't feel pain. This Tang Guo is too cruel. Fang Sifei couldn't help but curse. Shi Jing had already given her all his wealth, yet she still left a love goo in Shi Jing's body. She must have known about this and deliberately didn't remind them. Most likely, she wanted to use this opportunity to humiliate Shi Jing and Qing Shui. Is there no other way? Shi Jing asked. Zhu Jing shook his head. In any case, I haven't heard of it. Perhaps Tang Guo would know. After all, she's the one who raises goo. I see. Shi Jing thought for a moment and said, don't tell Qing Shui about this for the time being. The Peak. Chapter 3166. I will find a chance to meet Xiao Guo and ask him about the love goo. But Xie Qingxue was already suspicious of Shi Jing's situation. She had been eavesdropping outside when the three of them were talking. Xie Qingxue felt very sad when she heard that it might be the love goo acting up. She covered her mouth with tears and turned to look for Tang Guo. Tang Guo was not surprised that Xie Qingxue came to look for her. After all, in the storyline, Xie Qingxue was the one who took the initiative to look for the original owner and ask her to help solve the love goo. Miss Tang, Jing has already compensated you with all his wealth. You also said that you would not pursue the matter of Jing cheating the holy medicine. So, can you remove the love goo from Jing's body? She remembered that every time Shi Jing was deeply in love with her, he would be in so much pain that he would not be able to get up. That pitiful look made her heart ache. Not only could she not do anything, but she also had to stay away from Jing so that the love goo would not torture him so much. She had never thought that there would come a day when Shi Jing would suffer from physical pain because he liked her too much when they were together. Ever since she found out that Shi Jing's pain was related to her, she did not dare to get close to him. She was afraid that he would suddenly be in so much pain that he would not be able to get up. So you came to look for me because of this? Tang Guo looked at Xie Qingxue coldly. But it is useless for you to look for me. Once the love goo is planted, it cannot be removed. I did get all of Shi Jing's wealth, but that was to compensate him for the holy medicine he cheated. I did not pursue the matter of him cheating me and playing with my feelings. Even if I could resolve it, I would not help him get rid of the love goo. This is what he deserves. He was the one who planted the love goo on his own accord. I didn't force him, or threaten him. He chose to plant it because he wanted to cheat the holy medicine. If he went back on his words and left, I would not have stuffed the love goo into his body. Miss Tang, if you liked Jing before, he is really in pain now. Please help Jing. As long as you help Jing, I will do anything you want. Tang Guo glanced at Xie Qingxue and said, You're making fun of my love for Shi Jing again. Yes, I used to like him very much. But all her love was built on his deceit. How could I continue to like someone who cheated on my feelings? His pain has nothing to do with me. You should leave. I can't solve the love goo problem. Miss Tang, however, it's not like there's no solution. Shi Jing doesn't like people and doesn't understand feelings. The love goo won't do anything to him. Tang Guo said meaningfully, this is the best solution. If he doesn't fall in love, the love spell won't be able to threaten him. He'll quickly fall into a deep sleep. Alright, I still have things to do. Tang Guo left quickly. Xie Qingxue wanted to chase after her, but she was stopped by the bodyguards arranged by Kong Qi. Kong Qi's reason for arranging bodyguards for Tang Guo was that he felt that the Shi family might not be willing to accept it and was afraid that she would be in danger again. It would be safer to bring someone with her wherever she went. Tang Guo gladly accepted Kong Qi's kindness. Not long after Xie Qingxue left, she learned that Shi Jing came to look for her. Xiaoguo, since we're even now, can you help me solve the love gu problem? Tang Guo laughed and said, we're even. When did I say that we're even? The peak. You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.